Man, oh man, there's so much wrong with this story. There's so much wrong with this story. And you know what? I already shot this video. This is my second time recording this video. The first time I put it up and they snatched it right down. You know who they are. They snatched it right down. So I got to do it again, which is fine. But like I said, I don't like this story. And from the start of this story, like from months ago, when this was all just starting to happen, and when I was kind of just starting to talk about this story, I just always had a really bad feeling about this story. And, you know, it's very interesting because there's a lot of people, obviously, who don't hold the same views and opinions that I have, and that's fine. But a lot of those people, they see this situation as the perfect example of what it means to be a loving parent. And I have a lot of issues with that because there's a lot of people who are just simply misled and they don't know what love is. They don't know what it is. So this says Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya Wade, granted legal name change, gender change in court. And I didn't even know you could change your gender in court. But I guess when you got money and when you got lawyers and all that, you could pretty much do whatever you want in this country, is what I've come to find out. Like, I did not even know that was a thing. But this is so sad because, like I said, a lot of people view this as what it means to be a supporting parent. A lot of people view this as what it means to, you know, allow your child to be themselves. But we got to remember something very critical. This is literally a child. This is literally a child. This is a 15-year-old child. This is a child who is still going to is still going through puberty, who is still going to, you know, develop mentally. Brain is still growing. Brain is still developing. You got to understand something. I don't remember what his name was before he changed his name to Zaya and changed his gender to being a girl. I think it was Zion or something like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. But you got to remember something. Zaya has NBA genes, meaning his dad or her dad or, you know, whatever. Her dad is literally or was in the NBA, is like 6'4". This child has NBA genes. You're going to be, and think about it like this. You're going to be growing from now. He's only 15, 16, 17, 18. You don't stop growing until what? You're like 22, 23, something like that. I think males can keep growing until they're like 25. So you're probably going to be what? Like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3", maybe taller than that. Not saying that, you know, a woman can't be tall, but you also got to factor in the fact that you're a biological male. Your hands are going to be huge. Your shoulders are going to be broad. Your feet are going to be wide. It's going to be hard to stomp around in them heels when you rocking a size 14 shoe. It's going to be hard to get the attention of biological men who I would assume that you are going to be trying to date later on in life and build a family of some sort. It's going to be hard to get that attention when you look like you probably should be playing professional basketball or something. And I'm just speaking from just a genetic standpoint. It's not like Zaya's going to be this little like petite, you know, woman. Not saying that women have to be petite or they can't be tall or whatever, but you know what I'm trying to say. And, you know, let's not forget a very important statistic. This is from The Guardian. It's only a couple months old. So this is an article from this year. It says more than 50% of trans and non-binary youth in the U.S. considered offing themselves this year, survey says. Survey says? I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. It wasn't the time to do that. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it though. But that's a real thing. More than 50% have considered offing themselves. Youth, these are children. These are children. And the reason why, in my opinion, is because there's a deep conflict in their spirit. There is a deep conflict in their spirit that they are battling. There are very real spiritual enemies that we are battling here on earth. And these children are going through the same thing. These children are facing struggles. They're facing hardship in the spiritual realm, and they're looking for adults to be leaders and to actually show them the way and to actually be authentic and genuine in the way that they love. If you know your child is going down the wrong path, would you not correct that behavior? Would you not tell them, hey, I know you like doing that. I know you feel this way. I know you might feel uncomfortable in your body, but guess what? You're 15. It's called puberty. I know you like the attention. I know you like the validation because look, this is a child. Children, they need very core basic elements to help them be successful and strive in this world. They need love. They need attention. They need to feel like they belong. I'm sure, now Zaya, who has completed a legal name and gender change, I'm sure that she is now experiencing a lot of love. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of hate too, but there's a large percentage of the population who support this and who are giving her praises and who are actually giving her multi-$1,000 six-figure brand deals. I mean, this is Puma. Puma just gave Zaya Wade what appears to be a brand deal of sorts, probably paying her hundreds of thousands of dollars. You would think, I don't know, maybe less, maybe more, but paying her a substantial amount of money in order to be a model for their shoes and for their clothes. She's seeing a lot of validation right now. She's seeing a lot of love right now. And like I said, yeah, I'm sure she's getting hate, but she's seeing a lot of love right now. She's getting a lot of attention right now. And when you're a child, when you are, seeing love, when you're getting brand deals, when you're getting attention, when you're getting all this media and all this press and all these people are talking about you, you could be deceived into thinking that what you're doing is actually the correct way of doing things. But in all actuality, just because the world is going to praise you doesn't mean that what you're doing is pleasing to God, and doesn't mean that what you're doing is actually true to who you actually are. And we have a child, a 15-year-old child who can legally change their name, can legally change their gender, but can't buy cigarettes, can't buy alcohol, can't go to a club, can't join the military, can't buy a firearm, can't even legally get behind the wheel of a car. Like, y'all, this child cannot even legally get behind the wheel of a car alone and drive to the grocery store or something. It's against the law. But yet we live in a country where you can remove body parts, where you can legally change your gender, where you can legally change your name and all of these things before the age of 18. If you don't think that we are already living in a very interesting time, a very sticky situation that is only going to get more and more worse, then you are sadly mistaken. Because if we can't get these basic truths right, these very, very basic truths, that there are only two genders, male and female, that God created us perfectly as he intended it to be. If you were born a little boy, that's how God intended it to be. You're going to be a little boy and you're going to grow into a man. If you were born a little girl, That's how God intended it to be. You're going to grow into a woman. But just because you're feeling some discomfort in your body, just because you're feeling some confusion in your identity, it's not you. It's not your fault. The fact of the matter is we live in a very sinful world. This is enemy territory. All of this is ran by the devil until Jesus comes back. Thankfully, we have the Holy Spirit that lives inside of us to help combat that, but we're still living in enemy territory. And this is the result of sin. This is the result of sin. Not saying that Zaya did anything directly, but just the sin that is in the world that wants to twist and wants to pervert things and wants to call evil good and good evil. What I'm doing is perceived to be evil. By me not supporting this is perceived to be evil. By Zaya changing her gender and removing body parts before the age of 18 is considered good. Now you tell me what side of the fence you want to be on. And this is as loving as I could be. As loving as I can be, I would say, Zaya, understand that you're going to be going through so many more changes from the age of 15 until the age of 25. And the decision that you're making right now is a lifetime decision. It's a lifetime decision. And clearly you don't have adults around you that are making you aware of the full and complete implications of this kind of decision. And look, I don't know if they already did like the full like surgery and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they did that yet. I would pray that they didn't do it yet. But I don't know. I mean, you look at, I don't know. It looks like it's too late, in my opinion. It looks like it's too late. Like, I really don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But it's so interesting that the devil can twist and deceive us and trick us into thinking that we're somebody else. Because the fact of the matter is, the devil doesn't do anything new. He's been using the same tactics for forever. He doesn't do anything new. Our true identity is the one that is given to us by our Father. The true identity that we all possess is that we are children of God. Now, whether or not you want to believe and have faith in that and accept that as being truth is up to you. But that is the fact of the matter. We are children of God. But the devil has become extremely good at deceiving us into thinking otherwise. And when we forget that basic truth that we are children of God, everything else goes out the window. Everything else goes out the window. And now we start thinking that we have to change physically, that we have to be a different gender in order to fit in order to be loved, in order to be loved. But God already loves us. And as a parent, because I see tweets like this, I see tweets like this. This tweet says, "This is the love that every parent should have for their child." This is the love that every parent should have for their child, right? I see tweets like that. The love that you should have for your child is making sure that they understand that their Father in heaven loves them so much and created them exactly how he intended them to be. and they are perfect in his eyes. No matter what the world will tell you, the way that God made you is completely perfect because God made it and he's perfect. Therefore, the way that he made you is perfect, is complete. It might not always feel like that, especially when you're a child going through different emotions and your body's changing. But ultimately, God doesn't make mistakes. The world will lie to you and tell you that God does make mistakes, but he doesn't miss. But like I said, at this point, man, you getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is not the only brand deal. I'm sure there's more brand deals coming. Puma's the first one to jump on, or one of the first ones. I'm sure there's a lot of other brand deals coming. I'm sure that Zaya will make millions of dollars operating under this new gender. But guess what? Does it really matter at the end of the day? Does it really matter? Is it getting you closer to God? Is it deepening your relationship with Jesus? Or is it deepening the relationship that you have with yourself? I think, we live in a very selfish world. We become our own idols. Like, we become our own idols sometimes, and we don't want to listen to the truth. We don't want to hear a different perspective. We don't want to hear God's perspective on the situation because we feel like we know what's best and we can make the best decisions. And that mindset is trickling down to a younger and younger and a younger age, and parents are allowing it. Parents are stamping their approval on that mindset. And for what? For a temporary validation on this earth? Well, we don't live for a temporary validation because we're living for eternity. At least Christians are. The believers are. But the world doesn't see it like that. But anyway, like I said, it's a sad story. My thing is just like kids, man. I just fear for kids. I have kids. I just fear for what the future is going to look like. I have faith and I believe in God, and I know he's going to work everything out, but such young minds. Kids are so impressionable. They're so innocent. I mean, they can really go in either direction depending on the leadership that they have in their life. So to see things happen like this, it makes me uneasy, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Get in my comment section, like this video, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on those post notifications. All right, I'm out.